Hi, my name is Justin Matthews. Today I will be presenting a case titled Cynthia Cooper, the Whistleblower. Let's discuss some of the facts. Cynthia Cooper was the head of internal audit at WorldCom. WorldCom was a leading competitor in the telecommunication industry in the late 1990s. However, in 1999 and 2000, the telecommunication industry faced many difficult challenges. As new competitors and new technology rapidly came to the market, WorldCom struggled to keep up. WorldCom's main goal was to become the #1 stock on Wall Street. CEO Bernard Ebbers and CFO Scott Sullivan did anything and everything they could do to maintain their high status on Wall Street. They even resorted to unethical and illegal accounting behaviors and transactions to maintain this high status. As Cynthia Cooper became aware of the unethical and illegal behavior taking place at WorldCom, she realized she was faced with a major ethical dilemma. She realized that there was mainly 3 choices she could choose from. Option 1 was to blow the whistle and risk thousands of people's career, retirement, and livelihood. Option 2, assist Scott Sullivan in the cover-up. He did explain that he would be able to fix it in just a few short months, or in the next quarter. Or option 3, she could pass the information to the external auditors and do no more. In Chapter 4 of Managing Business Ethics, written by Linda Trevino and Catherine Nelson, we read about 7 steps to blowing the whistle. Let's compare these 7 steps to Cynthia Cooper's experience. Step 1. Approach your immediate supervisor first. Cynthia Cooper did approach her immediate supervisor, Scott Sullivan. However, during the confrontation, Scott Sullivan asked Cynthia to delay the audit until the next quarter. Cynthia knew that this was wrong. She continued on with her investigation. Step 2. Discuss the issue with your family. In the beginning, Cynthia was trying to be as secretive as possible and not let anybody know what she was doing in this investigation. However, over time, her family, her parents, and her husband began to see the stress and unhappiness in her life. Eventually, she shared some minor details with her parents regarding what was happening at WorldCom. Step 3. Take it to the next level. After Cynthia Cooper tried to discuss the matter with Scott Sullivan, and that failed, she discussed the issue with Mr. Bobbitt. Mr. Bobbitt was head of the audit committee at WorldCom. Step 4. Contact your company's ethics officer. Cynthia Cooper didn't have an ethics officer to discuss the matter with. Prior to these types of cases, ethics officers were not common in most businesses. Step 5. Consider going outside your chain of command. Cynthia Cooper did go outside her chain of command. Rather than just discussing the matter with Scott Sullivan, the CFO, she talked to the controller, David Myers, Buford Yates, the general director of accounting, and 2 senior accountants, Betty Vinson and Troy Norman. Each time she discussed the matter with these other outside accountants, outside of her command, each of them gave different various answers regarding their involvement with the issue, with the case and the investigation. Step 6. Go outside the company. Cynthia Cooper attempted 2 times to discuss the matter with the auditors from Arthur Andersen. Each time, they discredited her investigation and her findings, saying that they report directly to Scott Sullivan. Eventually, Mr. Bobbitt told Cynthia Cooper to discuss the issue with the newly hired auditors, KPMG. Step 7. Leave the company. Cynthia Cooper chose not to leave the company. She took it upon herself, as the internal auditor, to uncover the illegal and unethical accounting transactions that were taking place within WorldCom. In conclusion, WorldCom filed bankruptcy in 2002. Bernard Ebbers, the CEO, was sentenced to 25 years in prison. He continually pled not guilty until all the way to the end, but eventually he received his sentence of 25 years in prison. Scott Sullivan, the CFO, assisted the prosecution of Bernard Ebbers and received a reduced sentence of 5 years in prison. Cynthia Cooper has become one of the great examples of moral courage in our day. We can all learn a great deal about moral courage and standing up for what we know is right and ethically true by following the example of Cynthia Cooper, the whistleblower.